is imperative that we hold the higher ground from which we can bombard the enemy with our cannons. Captain Steimer will hold the line of this side of the River Ospek, backed up by Captain Feldsturm's artillery.
What is my role, Count?
You will take a contingent across the river and attack the watchtower the Chaos forces are holding on the hill. Drive them back and secure that hill so Feldsturm can set up his battery on the higher ground.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Sir Cypher here with the first mission of the Empire campaign for Warhammer Mark of Chaos, which is a computer adaptation of the Warhammer Fantasy Battles tabletop war game produced by Games Workshop. It was developed by Black Hole Entertainment, I think it's called, and I guess it didn't work out too well for them because that company is now bankrupt. Well, they're gone. They're not just bankrupt. It's very similar in a lot of respects to the Total War games, if you've ever played any of those. But it's different in other ways. We have right here, we have our hero, Stefan von Kessel, and we have a unit of swordsmen and a unit of handgunners. There's a lot of mechanics happening under the scenes, but for this mission, I'm just going to kind of go for it, and I'll kind of explain what's happening.
From the walls of that tower we can strike forth at the hated slaves of darkness. The gods have offered up this hour for our vengeance, so grasp it with fervor and salve your anguish with the blood of the Northmen. Drive them back to their caves and take that tower!
The southern cowards have found us! Kill them all!
Impossible!
So we are the Empire, they are Chaos. If you've never played a Warhammer game, you might be like, what is going on here? But I'll explain it. But in this mission, like I said, I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. Now, what the fuck? Handgunners. There we go. One important thing you'll notice straight off is that projectiles are not modeled in this game. Ranged units just have a set chance to hit, and it doesn't matter if the enemy's in combat, doesn't matter if the enemy's moving. Your own troops will never get hit, and you just, you know, you either hit them or you don't. So, throwing a unit into combat and using it as a meat shield while your infantry shoot at it is perfectly a reasonable tactic. These are swordsmen, as you can see, and they're more of a defensive infantry unit, and these are handgunners, which are going to be our main ranged unit for the Empire. Except this one squad doesn't ever want to get, you know, doesn't want to... There we go. So there's more guys up here. We got to take this tower for the objective. See on the quest here, Tower of Darkness. So we're going to advance.
Protect our land, guard our people.
We have Marauders, which are enemy melee units, and we have here Marauder axe throwers, who are enemy ranged units. These Marauders are flanking us, but we can use this special ability here, Volley Fire, and you see that the entire enemy squad dies almost instantly. Handgunners are probably the best ranged unit in this game. They're really good, and they're really cheap too. So we're going to be using a lot of handgunners. As you can see, they just chop, they just blast the crap out of people.
What are your orders, my lord? Wet your swords with blood!
These guys are running away. You notice these banners above our units. The green line is health, or models remaining, basically. The purple line is morale, and the white line is stamina. So down here we have another character. It's a bright wizard. And we'll go help him out here so he doesn't get killed. At the same time, we'll occupy this tower here with this squad of handgunners. Again, you may be wondering why I'm not using this cool dude over here, but
Captain Feldsturm can set up his battery from here.
All will be explained.
What are your orders, my lord?
And then we have more axe throwers over here, so we'll chase them down with these swordsmen.
fire!
I want to kill these last. This green circle, as you might have guessed, is the fire range of our troops.
What are your orders, my lord?
You notice that my unit's health has gone down. It's because these units gain experience. And the more experience they get, the bigger their maximum squad size is. So their squad size is. So it's not that their health went down, it's just that their max squad size is bigger. So we'll finish that off. And kill those guys. Units start off at level 1 and then go to level 3. And at level 3, they'll double their normal squad size. So this is going to be able to go up eventually to 48 guys. There's this Chaos Watchtower here. We'll smash it as Captain Feldstorm drags his cannons up on the hill. And you notice that these there's things dropping. Sometimes units will drop items. Like right here we have a potion that can heal this guy. And we have enchanted armor he just picked up, which goes into this inventory slot here. And after this mission is over, I'll show you how you do in camp, how you exchange items, all that, and also sort of like what skills do for various units. But that's basically it for this. We just gotta wait for these cannons to roll up here. But yeah, the Warhammer setting is, I think, a pretty good setting. It's pretty entertaining. A lot of people nowadays are more familiar with the Warhammer 40k, which is the sci-fi spin-off. There's been a lot more games of that. But I still have a soft spot for the original Warhammer Fantasy Battles. In a lot of ways, it feels more like a mishmash of like fandom for various other fantasy things, rather than its own setting. But the cannons are set up, and now it's time to blast these guys. So it looks like
those abominations
these guys got blasted.
Men of the Empire. Signal the advance.
And the mission is complete. You can see here the after battle screen, nothing too exciting.
A finely won victory, wouldn't you say, Count Gruber?
I would have said hard fought, Captain Steimer. The priests of Moor will be busy for days burying the dead, don't you think?
A costly victory, yes, Captain von Kessel, but one that we had to achieve. Count Feuerbach's army has suffered many casualties these past months, and last week he took my advice to pull back his forces to Talabaya. If we had failed today, the Northmen would have killed everyone between here and Wolfenburg within days. Our army stands alone.
We cannot rest until the Chaos Filth are driven from Sigmar's realm.
Fine words, von Kessel. Though it is the traitors in our midst that concern me more than the Northman hordes.
If you have an accusation to make...
Enough! Word from the generals of Kislev is that another horde is gathering in the north. Warbands still roam freely. The safety of the Empire is far from assured at the moment. We must strike hard against this invasion and choke it in its infancy. We must attack where they are gathering.
I would be honored, my lord.
No, I need you with my army. Von Kessel will head north and seek out their camp.
As you command, my lord. Where would you have me march?
Travel east and north, via Esterdorf if you need to resupply, and press on further northwards. There are regiments from my army and others on patrol in the region. Gather up any of them if you can. We will need as many men as possible for the battles ahead.
I hope you can be trusted. Disobedience is in your blood.
My loyalty is to the Empire alone.
Okay, so after the battle, we're brought to the campaign map, which is how we're going to navigate around the various battles. Unfortunately, this isn't like Total War in the fact that we could just control the whole empire and raise regiments and change taxes and all that. This is more about a single army that travels around and engages in fights. And before we leave, Otto von Gruber, the Elector Count, gives us one of his Halberdier regiments. And we can travel to the next town.
Praise Sigma! It's been a long while since we saw an army in these parts. And the northern warbands grow bolder every day. We have a fine inn for those who wish to relax, and you may find more men willing to join you at the barracks. If it's supplies you'll be needing, then we have a man with some talent with a hammer and anvil, and also a specialist in more exotic goods, an alchemist by trade. There's a shrine too for those wishing for something a bit more spiritual for their refreshment.
So that was sort of like a mini tutorial about what's in a town. There's 4 things in a town. Not every spot is a town. We have the alchemist who has little supplies and stuff, potions and weapons. And we're going to buy this sword, but I don't think we need to buy it right now. We'll give this armor to Stefan von Kessel. You can see right here that units have abilities in 3 tiers. They have duel, which we'll see what that does. Combat, which is the unit itself, fighting. And command, which is about putting the character in a unit of soldiers and making all those soldiers better. So I normally get command for Stefan von Kessel. So I'm going to get tenacity, which increases the armor of the hero and the unit he's in. And as you can see here, our troops are taking, they need some more men because they're low. So we will check out the temple. And sort of interesting, you don't get replacements at the barracks, you get them at the temple. So we'll get 4 replacements for the handgunners and 4 replacements for the swordsmen. The fact that healing your men costs money and that there's only so many battles in the game means that if you're stupid and you lose all your troops, you can make the game unwinnable because you won't have enough men to beat it, and there's no way to get more men because, you can't get any more money. Also, if you lose an entire unit, it's gone forever. So if every soldier in a unit dies, it's done. The unit is gone and all its experience is gone. We'll go to the armory, and we have all these different options for upgrading units. And then we can go to the barracks, and there's different kinds of units that we can hire. Right now, it's just these 3, which we already have. We have Halberdiers. Halberdiers aren't really good. They're not that good in the tabletop or in this because they don't really have halberds. They have like these short halberds. So they're kind of a little bit better in combat than swordsmen, but they have a lot less defense. Swordsmen are have a lot more staying power. So I almost always just use swordsmen. And then we have handgunners. And then we already saw these swordsmen. Now, I'm going to hire another unit of handgunners because, like I said, missile weapons are not modeled in this game. So the best strategy is just to throw your toughest unit of melee guys into the enemy and just keep shooting into the giant massive troops with all your missile weapons. So as part of that, we are going to upgrade all of my handgunners. We're going to upgrade their offensive capability here with 3rd level weapons. And we're going to enhance my swordsmen with armor and with weapons. Now, what these other options do is, we're going to eventually give all of the handgunners armor too, but it's a little expensive, so we're going to hold off for now because they shouldn't be getting into combat. You can also give each unit a champion, which is a guy in the front rank, who is a little bit more powerful. In the tabletop game, he has 2 attacks instead of 1. I'm not sure exactly what mechanically it does in this, but I always get it because it's very inexpensive. Musician, which makes it so that in the tabletop game, it's easier for them to rally, and they break ties and morale. But in this game, it just helps with their morale. Same thing with standard bearer, it just helps with their morale. We can buy siege equipment and magic banners, but we're not really going to touch that yet. We'll give... Oh, shoot. Did I just buy a... Oh my god, I just bought a freaking gunpowder keg for the... We'll give it to the swordsman. The last thing these handgunners need is more gunpowder. So, We'll get all the little fancy command guys for these squads. And that's basically it. The only other thing you can do in temples, besides moving your inventory around, healing, or in towns, you can move your inventory around. You can heal your troops. You can upgrade them. You can hire new troops. And you can also bless units, which I never do. But the bless increases basically their combat, and then morale basically gives them extra morale to start with. But like I said, units almost never break, so it's not really an issue. So that is it for the first level. We're going to be there's four like campaign maps. This is the first one, and there's another 4 for the chaos campaign. So I hope you stick around. I hope this seems interesting. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.